Inconsistent.
You moved everything. You think it's gonna be perfect?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let me fix what I did.
Don't say this guy. Say, oh man, I fucked it up.
Do you feel responsible for the mistakes that you made in your life?
No.
Good. That's how Puerto Ricans should be. That's exactly right. That's exactly how Puerto Ricans
It was
should
the
be.
government.
The government did that. We're victims of the product of which we exist today. It is of a not fault of our own that this should be happening, and it's very sad that it happens, but it also is a reality of our
blame
circumstances. How you doing? You know, there's something that we don't do. I don't think we tell the audience much about ourselves, you know what I mean, and who we are, and I think that that's important.
I don't care to.
You don't care. You don't care.
As far as they're concerned, I'm just a random person.
Is that what you guys think? We're just random people? You don't think they care? Like, what is this guy about?
They don't even remember our names. 99%.
Yeah, but we don't call. I don't be like, hey, Noel, what do you think about this story? And vice versa.
And I'm like, who the hell is that?
Right. We just talk to each other like we're lovers. So I don't know. I thought maybe a little introduction about you, your life, and why are you so gay? What is that hat about? Drop out? Oh, you're a drop. This is very, very.
I dropped out.
You're very fitting.
100%. I dropped out of high school. I barely even started high school.
Let me see the other side of the hat. Okay, a bear.
This is Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
This is his album, Dropout. College Dropout.
Is that a new album? No, that's not a new album.
Old album.
Old. Classic album right there. Okay. Yeah, so I thought that would be a good little, follow-up, a little segment, highlight of some shit, because, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you believe in, what you stand for. So you don't like
I'm
sharing.
a red-blooded American hero.
We know who he voted for with that phrase.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's it. Dad and I work.
I'm a dad and I work.
Those are the only two things that really affect my life. Everything else is almost irrelevant. What's going on in Iran means nothing to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not necessarily true because you pay for gas, right?
Yeah.
And that shit sucks.
But I'm always going to fill the tank up no matter what that number says.
Regardless, because you got to get to where you're
getting. Because it goes up and down. It's been going up and down for years, right?
It has been going up and down for years.
So then it never matters to me. It's just, hey, it goes up this time. Next time it'll go down.
Do you wait for it to go down, or like?
I just fill it up when it's empty.
Do you shop around when it's?
I have 2 gas stations I go to, and that's it.
Tell me which ones they are.
Both of them are BP because I use the app to get a 10% discount.
Oh, okay. So you are shopping around. He's being cautious about his spending.
And then when I hit my limit, I get 25% off a gallon.
When you hit your limit, you get
25 cents per gallon off.
When you hit, what do you mean by hit your limit?
Meaning like you accumulate points.
Okay.
And then once it goes, okay, you got so many points, you can now use your points to get 25% off every gallon. So then I take my wife and I go, okay, now follow me to the gas station.
You should call me.
I fill up my gas, I stop, I move my car, she puts her car and I fill it up for we can both.
And that's that membership with BP, like you get the little card, plastic.
It's actually Amazon.
Okay, but that was my question, right? Yeah. So I need to sign up.
It's a few gas stations.
All right, so when you fill up for the 25%, call me because I only live 3 minutes away from you. All right, so nothing affects you, and you're heterosexual with children that works and fills up his gas tank.
And I just feel like if you want an optimum world,
right,
people need to be free to do whatever they want. As long as they don't hurt nobody.
That's your political, religious, emotional, educational.
That's it. That's all it comes down to.
That's your mission statement. That's your
be free.
Be free. Be free.
Be free. Be who you are.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, that's Noel.
If you want to be gay, be gay. I don't care.
If you want to follow Noel and see what he's about and support him, here he is. He's a dropout, and that's what that is. I'm Jose. I'm his literally his life partner. We've known each other for years, mad years, and I kind of have the same feeling. Live your life, do what you got to do. It sucks because
be who you want to be.
Be who you want to be. It sucks because I can agree with your statement of what goes on in Iran and around the world doesn't really affect me, but it kind of indirectly affects me.
Very little.
Very.
You know what affects me more?
What?
What the freaking mayor does.
This mayor
That physically affects my life.
physically, emotionally. Does any of this
Everything.
emotionally affect your life?
Emotionally?
Emotionally, do you get upset about any of this stuff? When George Floyd happened, were you upset after watching that video? Did it tickle your little heart in any way?
Oh, no, none of it.
That's a lie.
Because it was far away, and I was like, What I think what made me really frustrated was the reaction.
So
People burning things down. I'm like, what are we doing here? You live here.
okay, so you do have emotions.
Yeah.
All right, so he does have a heart, guys. He's not just a dropout. All right. I think that anything, in some way, sense or another, has an emotional effect on you. You know how much and how far you're willing to act upon it is what it is. For me, I kind of agree with you, but I don't disagree. I do disagree in some sense that it has an indirect effect. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But here we are. I am a single dad. This guy's a married guy. And
Are you looking for a partner? Is that what this is about?
yeah, I'm doing a dating profile. Hit me up, follow me if you're interested. Just came back from Colombia.
He's not Colombian.
I am not even a little bit Colombian, but I went to Colombia and I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
Something that I did. And I want to see your face when you see it. It's weird to have at this age. But when I was there, I said, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. I'm going to go do it. And I did because it was cheap. And now I have to wear this thing for 6 months, which sucks.
You got braces?
You couldn't even tell, right?
No.
I was talking to you this whole time setting up, and you could not tell that I had
don't even look
braces
at
on.
you.
You don't even look at me. Right. Why would you look at me? We've known each other for 27 years.
That's hilarious. I can't
Yeah.
believe you did that.
I did because
And you got to go back in 6 months?
I got to go back in 6 months to get rid of it and pick up my tooth. Because I only went there to get the implant.
So you dropped it and it's going to take 6 months for them to find it?
Yeah, I dropped it somewhere in America and I'm picking it up in Colombia.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I only
That's good.
I only went over there to pick up to get an implant, and I ended up freaking
Getting braces.
yeah, because he told me the price, and I forgot that it was in pesos. So I forgot there was a transfer, right, a rate transfer. So when he told me
like a million pesos, and you're like, okay.
no, I forgot that it's pesos. So when he said millón and stuff, I'm over here like, because they cut off the 3 zeros, so he's like, oh, it's gonna be $1,400. I was like, oh yeah, we gotta go. I was like literally looking at my dude George. I was like,
I'm not paying. I go to America for that.
I
It's
go to
safer.
America. So I get down one flight of stairs, and I'm trying to do the math. He was like, yeah, but remember that's in pesos. I'm like, we gotta go back upstairs. And
So
I
how
went
much
right
was
back
it in American dollars?
So in American
Freedom money.
So initially, again, I was only gonna go get the implant. So with the implant, a deep cleaning, and the braces, and I decided to do whitening. It all came out to $2,300.
That's really good.
That is now in America. My dentist that I'm gonna see on the 16th, it would have cost me $3,000 just for the implant.
Yeah, I was gonna say just for one thing.
Just for the one tooth, it would have cost me what it cost me to go over there, hotel, and all the procedures that I had done.
What do you know? Huh?
What do you know?
So that's trade deficits are good.
It is.
There you
America
go.
is worth something over here.
Globalism is no good, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna do the whitening, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, why are you gonna do that if you're gonna get braces?" And I'm like, I still want to do it. He was like, "You're the boss." Great doctor, by the way, and the office is like state of the art. I mean, there was a TV monitor in front of me, like right in front of me, like where I was laying in the chair, and it had like nature scenes and nature and orchestra, classical music, like for me to relax. I was like, this guy's on point, and the level of service is the next level of service that you just don't get here. When I go to with my insurance, my dude, it's like I'm in their way instead of being a customer.
Yeah.
Over there, it's like I got you. So when I did the whitening, and after the procedure, he was shocked at the difference. Like there was visible difference in the whitening, which was crazy. He was like, "That was a good move." Anyways, with the braces, there's like these little hooks and stuff, and it irritates the side of your mouth. Annoying, right? So I thought that one of them opened up, or something was wrong, and it was 2 hours before I had to leave to the airport to come back to America.
Yeah.
And the doctor, first of all, he called me to follow up because I wasn't calling him. Right, I'm leaving. So he's calling me to follow up how everything was. Like, I'm a little irritated. I got cuts in the side of my mouth. I was like, I think there's something wrong. Something opened up. I can't tell. He was like, Marisco, ¿qué hacemos? Can you meet me in the clinic? He goes, do we have enough time? Da, 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 da. Bro, took a cab, which is like $6. Took a cab to the clinic.
Old New York was like that.
It's like 8:00 at night, mind you. I gotta be in the airport in an hour. He met me in his office. The security guard grabbed my luggages. He chopped off the little piece that was bothering me. I looked at it, like I literally jumped in the chair. He was like, put the gloves real quick, and da-da-da. And he drove me to the airport.
The dentist?
The dentist. Bro, in a Mercedes-Benz, very nice car. Like 80 miles per hour. And we're chilling, talking about politics, talking about religion, because it was the Holy Week, you know? So
Yeah.
and I'm just like, this is the next level of customer service when it comes to this guy.
That's amazing.
And he does like layaway, like payment plans. So I paid half of it. I was like, here's the half of the money. I'll be back for the other half.
And then like, you'll never see me.
You're never gonna see me again. I'll rip these suckers off myself.
My podcast buddy did that.
We're gonna make an episode out of removing my things. So if you need to get some surgery done, go to Colombia. It's great.
I was thinking about getting breast implants.
Bro, I'm thinking about when I go back getting a BBL and a tummy tuck.
Let's do it.
That's what I'm just like.
Record it. Record it.
When I saw myself with the braids, I was like, "Oh my god, I look like that doofus kid in school, but as an adult." I can't stop laughing at the look that I have in my face for it. But definitely worth it. Definitely worth it because you know when I think of doing surgeries in other countries, I'm like, damn, you know, I'm going into an office, the light is flickering, there's some kid crying in the background. That's what I picture. You know what I mean?
Because the offices you go to, everybody's on Medicaid.
Basically. But no, this was like some legit.
And then what did you talk about Trump? Like what he did in Venezuela and all that?
Yeah, and I asked him like, what do you think about, you know, Trump? And he was like, you know, it's just his demeanor that I don't.
That's what 90% of people say.
He was like, it's just his demeanor, but I get, you know, what he's doing, and it's obvious that it's working. But it's just his character. You get the sense that he's an intelligent person, and his banter and his, you know, he likes to poke the bear, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know, but I get what he's doing. You know, it's just his character, and it's obvious that he's doing it just to get at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It seems like too, like with the whole thing with Venezuela and Colombia, the Panama Canal and Iran, he's moving pieces on the chessboard before he makes his checkmate moves.
Yeah.
You know, he's positioning his pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because does he care if people in Venezuela are suffering or people in Cuba are free, have no electricity? He's like, no, it's America first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you guys gotta starve so we can get a good deal, then that's the deal.
Right.
You gotta starve a little bit.
And I don't think any president, you know, politics aside, right? Obviously, I don't think any president is like, I only care about this side of America, my side.
Yeah.
Like, I think they genuinely care about the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would hope so, right? Imagine I only want to take care of this side and screw that side.
But it's crazy to talk to somebody that's not, that they're like a lefty, because they just view it like, oh my God, he's evil. He's trying to kill the Colombians and kill the Venezuelans.
Right.
He wants the Cubans to starve to death. He's just doing it just because he's bad. And they don't see the next step of, if they're struggling enough, the government is struggling enough, they'll cut a deal with America. They're like, we got to fix a problem here. And America's like, oh, we could make a deal. If we could build the base there, if we can maybe open up the borders a little bit, maybe get some business. You know what I'm saying? We'll help you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But right now we're working with Venezuela. You guys are just a side project.
Side piece.
Whatever's going on over there, that's happening on the peripheral. Like, we're not even paying attention.
Right.
So you need to come to us for a deal. We're not going to go to you like, okay.
Yeah, we're good over here.
We're fine. We're doing our thing over here. You know what I'm saying?
We want to do business, though.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
Of course we want to do business. We want to freaking remember how it was in the 60s and 50s? We want that again.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
wasn't
I'm
there for the 50s and 60s.
The I Love Lucy days. That's
Shout
why
out to
Ricky Ricardo came down.
he was like, you got to come down. I came out. I will bring some
You
Cubans.
know, that's when they had the freaking casinos and everybody went to Cuba for vacations, Havana.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they got all those nice cars over there because we brought them over there because we loved it so much.
Yeah, and they were like,
And
what?
then Fidel took over and that was the end of it. Now you're stuck with those old
He was
cars.
like, I am the leader.
Yeah.
You follow me. Colombia's dope. They definitely stepped up their game from the last time that I was there. Wild that in the pharmacy you could pick up liquor, a sandwich, and Ozempic in the same place. There's more pharmacies.
That's service right there.
There's more pharmacies than any other type of business
They're
in Colombia.
probably known for that.
So I was like, how far can I go with this? Over the counter, or under the counter, in the counter situation that they got going on.
What kind of deals?
What's
you
the
cutting?
limit? I was like, can I get some OxyContin? No, then no. That's the state.
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right, that's the limit. Got it. So the heavy ones, the heavy
Yeah.
days.
How strong?
I was like, what? You got cocaine back there or something? But no.
You could get the strongest Tylenol we have. That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The time.
But Ozempic is not addicting, so they're like, you can have it.
You can have it. Go ahead, fuck up your situation.
Fuck up your bones. That's what Ozempic does.
Yeah.
It messes up your bones.
And your eyesight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Anyway, so
I forgot who it was. I went to somebody's house to go pick something. Who the fuck I went to? And there was an Ozempic on the counter.
that's not good. They shouldn't leave that out.
Okay. I know that's not yours. So I gotta be your wife's. Okay.
So if she loses 20 pounds, I know how she did it.
She's not exercising.
Yeah, so I was just shocked. And then insulin, you could get insulin easy. The prices are way
That's
cheaper.
how it should be. It should be that you could just go to the pharmacy and just buy insulin.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're going to freaking put insulin on a spoon and freaking smoke it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing else you're going to do with it.
And if you don't need it, why would you put it in your body?
Yeah, why would anybody want that?
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody would want that.
That's like...
who wants to poke themselves?
That's like Tylenol. You don't freaking have a prescription for Tylenol.
No.
You just sell it because, people, if you're going to buy it, you're going to use it for this.
When I was on the chair, I told my doctor, I was like, I brought some OxyContins for this surgery. Because he gave me ibuprofen. He was like, take this. Here's, what do you call that when you avoid an infection? They give you penicillin.
Okay.
Here's, take these penicillin just to avoid getting an infection, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I got some OxyContin. Should I take it? He was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, oh, this is like my guy right here.
What do you want?
Popped it in like 10 minutes, like right before the last surgery, which was the implant. And they put in this bullet that they put into my bone that's going to eventually screw in the tooth later on. And I'm just like, I was more worried about that, but the whitening hurt. The chemical that they put on, and then my mouth is sucked dry because they have that thing where you open up your mouth.
Hold it up.
Like, oh!
They put purple light?
Then
Yeah.
and I'm like, and like, I guess the dryness and the whatever, the chemical was like, that was painful. That was a little bit painful. It was overall, it was dope. It was dope. Definitely recommend you going to Colombia. After I go back and get my BBL, I'm going to, add some stamps to my thing. And fun fact, if you have a name like I do, don't bother get global entry and spending your money because immigration will always stop you.
Yeah. If you have a regular Spanish name,
I got one of the
popular one.
My name might as well be John Doe.
Yeah, you got the John Doe of the
I
Spanish
got the
countries.
John Doe of the Spanish
So they're like,
countries.
oh, I gotta check this guy.
And I couldn't blame like an individual Homeland Security, immigration officer. I couldn't blame one particular because I got on the line and then they took like 10 people and they put them in the front of the camera. First person goes, looks at the camera, click, 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 welcome to America, click, click, welcome to America, click, click. I get up there, inside.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
so the computer already knows.
you already know. So that name, they must flag it automatically.
If you have a Spanish first name and a regular, another last name, you can go.
Yep.
Spanish last name, a different, that's fine.
Okay.
Too Spanish?
Nope. right in there, and I got upset, so I didn't sit down. I was not sitting down because it's like going to jail. That's what it feels like. I didn't sit down, so immediately the lady's typing up, and they call me. And I wasn't sure which lady, and the white lady in front of me was, I didn't call you, sir. I'm like,
What was that at?
Immigration, like that's what the holding
In America?
in America over here. I always get stopped when I come back.
You're like, wow, the service in Colombia was great. You
Great.
guys are assholes here.
Great.
Immediately. I didn't even get to walk outside yet.
I got to Colombia with Oxycontin. No problems.
Yeah.
I come back to my own country. They're like, we don't know who you are. So when I got to the window, I left initially, but I was like, I looked at the black guy at the because they give you an orange ticket and you're free to go. And he took the ticket. I was like, yo, why does this keep happening to me? And he's like, you gotta ask the lady. I went back to the lady. I was like, why does this keep happening? And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's your name. I was like, so if I get global entry, she said, you have global entry? And I thought, oh shit, I should get it then. I was like, no, but should I get it? She was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, fuck, this sucks. So
Your name might as well be Muhammad. Because you're going to get random searches anyway.
Right. And then I thought to myself, should I change my name? That's just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of your
They're going to be like, wait a minute. Your name was...
this,
and then you changed it?
Now you're...
Stop this guy.
This guy got to go.
This guy's definitely hiding something.
Yeah, so that was my highlight of my trip. And I knew I was going to get held. Because every time I've gone out of the country to come back to America, I always get stopped. So it's like, okay,
Do you
what?
do the digital passport thing? Or do you go to the person and be like, okay, can you stamp my book, please?
The digital passport.
Oh, you never did that?
No, I got the regular where they stamp it.
So sometimes you don't have to get the actual stamp. You can go to the booth. There's like a thing. And you just type, you scan your passport. And they're like, all right, done. And then you have like a piece of paper. And then you bring it to the gate. And they're like, all right, you're good.
Isn't that global entry?
I don't know what it is. But it's not. You don't got to get your passport stamped. You just got to. It's a piece of paper.
I think that's global entry because my boy this guy was like, phew. And because he has VIP with the airline, he has the global entry, bro. You know how the whole hype about the 4-hour, 6-hour lines at TSA and everything.
Yeah.
We saw the regular line. It was like 4 hours long. We got to the airport 4 hours ahead of time, just to be safe.
You were able to enter with him because of
Yep.
that? Oh, nice.
It was 30 seconds. We were in there. We had to wait longer because it was a shift change and all the freaking airline people were going in. So we had to wait. There was only 4 people ahead of us, but it was in. And then we went to the VIP lounge and all you could eat for free inside.
Oh, really? I'm going.
They checked all my bags in. I could only put one bag under the plane and one carry-on. They put both. I was like, oh, man, this is freaking... it was VIP getting over there.
I got to step up my
Come
game.
back to America... Right to jail. Right to immigration. Straight to immigration jail. And the officer they go with you. I was gonna say in Spanish. An officer goes with you to use the bathroom. You can't even use the bathroom alone. They have to watch you.
What flight did you take? What airlines?
Avianca.
Was that Colombia?
That's they're worldwide. I'm thinking about saving my miles and doing a trip with my son to Europe.
Avianca?
I
never heard of it.
Yeah, no one has. But yeah, that's and then I took a flight.
No one has.
Not Euricans that don't do anything.
That's definitely some Donald Trump.
You saw that.
No one has.
I planned to save my miles and take a trip out to.
Wait. You have an Avianca card?
So I did the membership, the mileage thing, and got an account, and my miles are transferred.
And what they give you, a credit card?
No. It's like a regular membership.
So how you accumulate cards? I mean, miles.
So once you create the account, you get a specific member number, and then when you fly, it takes a few days. You get your miles, and you just accumulate them. And
from every time you fly.
Every time you fly, it starts counting. So being that I have to come back, half of my trip is technically already paid for when I go back. So, and I get a whole vacation out of it. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you want to get those surgeries done,
go to Colombia, baby.
Go to Colombia.
And I always hear people going to Colombia for BBLs.
Yeah.
Did you see people on the plane with that? I see things where people they get on a flight back, and the women are leaning over the seats, they don't want to sit down.
Yeah. So it's crazy because when I was over there, my friend who goes there, he's Colombian, he has dual citizenship, blah blah blah, business out there, blah blah blah. he was telling me how we saw like a quinceañera party. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a sweet 16, but we do it a year early because we're about getting things done. We don't like to wait.
You're like, oh, you're a woman? A year before.
A lot of what the parents give their daughters in Colombia as their sweet 16 gifts are breast implants and BBLs.
Oh, that's sad. That doesn't even sound good at all.
No, that doesn't sound good at all. You have a daughter now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine giving your daughter tits?
I'm like, at 15, I'm like, give us some time.
First of all,
You never know what's going to happen.
I would never pay for your own. Like, that's your business. That has nothing to do with it.
But even if you're going to pay for your own, wait, you're not done yet. You're just 15. You still got time.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah. How can you do that?
To me, it's like it's not even something that I would even that's your life.
I'll get you a freaking car.
Yeah,
and not even a nice one. You're lucky you're gonna get a
right. I'm gonna let you beat it up first. Yeah. But yeah, that's a thing over there. So you see a bunch of 15-year-olds with tits and butts that are obviously not theirs.
That's crazy.
That is not theirs at all.
So then, when you went to the place to get your teeth done, were there other doctors' offices around that they're like when you go, like you walk in on 7th Avenue and 8th Avenue, it's like, oh, okay. But then when you hit 5th, it's mad stores.
Yes.
Is it like that? You get there and just mad medical things?
So when I flew from Bogota to Medellin, I had to get x-rays done because he needed whatever. So when I went to that building, it was a building full of different clinics. And it was all like, bro, it looked like here. I mean, it looked like here with really good insurance, like, that $11.99 type insurance, So it was like, okay, cool.
Was it the people that were there were local, or you got a sense that they were from out of town?
You could tell a lot of people by the shoes that they wear.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, you could tell like the receptionist doesn't live in this neighborhood where this office exists. You could just tell. Whereas the doctors and the people who work inside, they do. Their shoes are a little bit more well kept, if you so to speak. So yeah, but it's not what you picture when you think about going to another country to get something done. It's better. Yeah. But in the back of your mind, you're always like, you're always like, America, home.
Yeah. America's.
There's a reason why they charge $3,000 for a tooth, right?
Yeah,
it has to be.
It has to be, yeah.
No, I think it's just because
you go to ask the dentist, he was like, well, I never went to school. I just know how to do it.
I just watched a bunch of YouTube.
Watched a couple videos. The guy before me taught me some tricks. He's like, I do. You're happy, aren't you? Yeah. So then don't worry about the certificates.
He had 3 certificates. I saw them on the wall.
And he printed them all himself.
All himself. I was like, I could do that too. Exactly. Going to Medellin was dope. I did I walked one day like 12 miles. Just freaking, and you know me, I've said this before. I don't care where I go. I'm pretty daring. Yeah. Like I'm like, if this is the way Jesus wants to meet me, who am I to stop Jesus? Yeah. So I'm like in the hood. I'm like in the thing, and I'm wearing like my sneakers. And I feel like their sneaker game is like 2 years behind us.
Yeah.
So everyone's looking at me and they're trying to get me to buy their sneakers. Their sneakers are way overpriced, but everything else is freaking dope. I got 2 leather pair of hush puppies for $140 from over there.
Oh, nice.
So I got a Samsonite little what do you call that, fanny pack? I thought about you when I brought it. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna match.
I have 2 different ones.
I'm gonna match my lover.
I have 2 of them for work. I use one when I'm working at my garage, and I have another one in my car use for when I go out of town.
Que linda! I got a Samsonite one for like $27.
I got literally a fanny pack with the freaking water bottle holders inside. So whenever I go, I'm like, put my water bottle in there.
All right, well, that was Colombia. I definitely suggest that you going back, and get your BBLs. I'm definitely thinking about getting the stomach. I want to get rid of the flab, whatever that is. I don't know if that's a tummy tuck.
When they cut the access under your belly line, and then I've seen videos of them doing it. If your belly button is under that line and they have to cut it out, they have to cut a new belly button for you.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine where your belly button's at now, but now it's going to be like a little bit higher. And I always wondered, right? When I see videos like that, I'm like, all right, when you touch this part of your body, and then you touch an inch higher, right? You feel like, okay, there's down here, there's up here.
Oh, that's such
Now,
a good
what if you
question.
got rid of that and they're so next to each other? Now, when you touch them, does it feel like it's higher?
Does it feel the same? Like, this is where this used to feel like. Is that now in my butt?
Yeah. Does it feel higher to you? But then you look at it like, wow, that's actually lower than I expected it to be because it feels higher.
It has to be.
Right? I was talking to this guy from church.
It has to be because of muscle memory.
This guy from church, we're standing in front of the church. This is what holiday was this? Was it actually Easter? No, it was before Easter. The week before Easter. And my wife and kids go in there, whatever. I'm saying what's up to the guys that are doing security, and we start talking about ICE because one of the guys. So we're talking, right?
Doesn't belong here.
One of the other guys that are doing security, he used to be from the other side of that. Let's just say. So we're having a conversation.
Opposite of nice.
Yeah. And then we're having a conversation. Then we start getting into like cars because he talked about he did some things with cars, whatever. And as every once in a while, he puts his hands in his pocket. He's taking out. He's doing one of these, puts it back. And I'm like, is he missing a finger? I think he's missing a finger.
Oh, God.
And then he does it again. And then as soon as he does it again, I noticed I'm 100% he only has 3 fingers. Or 4, technically, right? So as soon as I see, I'm like, wait, you're missing a finger? He was like, yeah. He was like, he lost it 3 years ago. He was like, since I've lost my finger, no one has ever asked me about my finger. You're the first one to ever ask me.
That's because you're Puerto Rican.
I was like, because I don't care. Because
Entrometido.
you're not real.
You're a
So
hologram.
it doesn't matter to me.
You're going to be deleted.
But
in
now I
about
want to
an
know
hour.
how it happened, you know? And then he starts telling me a story. He was unscrewing something. And it was like high pressure, and the freaking thing popped out. And his finger was hanging off.
Oh, my God.
He said that he was wearing gloves, like to do it. So when his finger broke and hung up, it was just hanging. So he was like holding it together in one
Jesus
spot.
Christ.
So when the doctors had to
horrible.
cut it off, it was just skin holding it. And the doctors were like, look, we could reattach it, but you're never going to have real, movement. And one of the things this is what he said the doctor told him. He goes, you're going to put your hand in your pocket, and because you can't press your hand against your leg, it's going to always get stuck over the pocket. It's never going to go in forever.
That's horrible.
He was like, when he said that, he was like, I might as well just get rid of it. And then the doctor said, you might get an infection. Your body might reject it anyway. Because, it's been off for so long. And then there's a crazy story. He said, when it happened, he was in an area when the guys he was working with didn't know the area. So he got in a car to drive to the hospital. And while the guy's driving, on his phone, he's looking up where's the hospital. So he brings him to a place. He goes, when I get out the car, I look, and I'm like, this is a very small hospital in the middle of 2 buildings. But he goes in anyway. And he's yelling at the lady, oh, my God, I'm hurt, da-da-da. And the lady's like, you got to fill out a form. So he's like, I'm not filling out anything. He sees a door that says employees only. So he just goes in the door and starts yelling at the guys in there. And he's
Good
like,
move.
they
Good
look
move.
like they're doctors. So they grab me. They look at me, goes, this is not a hospital. This is a rehab clinic.
Oh, man. I'm going to need rehab after this
So
situation.
not only did you come to the wrong place, but now you're even further from the hospital. So we got to call, and they're going to send a helicopter to come. They send a helicopter
For a finger?
for a finger.
Holy crap.
So that's when the whole situation happened. They're like, yo, we got to take it off. So he took it off. And the reason why I'm telling you the story is because he said that for a long time, he always had an itch on the side of his finger that he could never scratch because there's no finger there.
He still feels it?
So he's like, I would wind up scratching my other finger, but I can never relieve the itch. So then he told the doctor, because your nerve is messed, your nerve is touching your middle finger nerve, and your brain thinks the itch is here, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't exist. So they had to do a surgery to cut the nerve, and then the nerve ended in the middle of his hand, and then for another while he said it would always hurt every time I touched something, the tip of the nerve. So they had to do another surgery to put it even higher into his.
Nah.
He goes, now it's fine.
Take the whole hand.
But the amount of surgeries they did, they kept tightening up the skin, and it looks like he's an alien. Like he doesn't even. Some people look like this, like they're just missing a finger.
Yeah.
His does not look like it. It looks like he's just born with 3 fingers. That's why I asked him. I was like, wait a minute.
These are reptiles.
Because that hand is regular and this one's not. Tell me what happened. I want to know. I need to know. Yeah. He should have went to Colombia. They would have freaking put a robot finger.
Yeah, no, he would have had a whole arm.
They would have called in somebody from the street, like, give me your finger.
Literally.
Yeah. Give this guy $1,000. He's giving you a finger. You're going to have a new one.
It's crazy out there like that. too, which is wild. Nice, good job.
That was the alarm.
That was the alarm.
We gotta start the next episode.
So that's a little bit of us. Now you know I'm the straight one, and this one is hiding in the closet. We're out of here. You got anything else to tell them that you love them? Nothing.
No.
Later, holograms.
Yeah,
Peace.
seriously.